Coach, how do I know a man is emotionally unavailable? And one of my students said, I keep attracting emotionally unavailable guys, and I just don't know it. Well, let me give you some of the signs so you know. First sign is simply this. He comes to the table and he starts the conversation off, says, I've got a lot of things going on. I got a lot of baggage, I'm not ready. And the truth is, maybe he's not ready, but he makes it a constant thing saying, I'm not ready yet. I want to do things like people do when they're in a relationship, but yet I keep emphasizing, that I'm not ready. All right. Number 2, he talks about his ex a lot. It could be either positively or negatively. Either way, the ex consumes some of his energy. And when he talks about the ex, if he uses the ex as an example of what to do or what not to do, that is a sign that he's emotionally unavailable. Number 3, this is a powerful sign. He begins backing away from you when things are good. He begins backing away and you're wondering, it's almost like he doesn't quite ghost you, but what he does is he begins backing away. He begins doing less of what he did to get you. And then you're wondering why, because everything is going great. And I would say he is emotionally unavailable. Number 4, he's unwilling to invest in you. Listen, ladies. If a man is unwilling to invest his time, his money, his talents, or his resources in you, he's probably not valuing you like that. And the other thing is, if he's not, most of the time he is emotionally unavailable to you. Doesn't mean he's emotionally unavailable to someone, but just not to you. And that's a powerful sign, y'all. Stop rewarding dudes when they don't do anything. Make him work. Shit, stop it. Number 5, he's all about the sex. It's all about the let's get laid. It's all about sending dick pics. It's all about, what you doing? What you got on? What you doing? I know you looking good. Send me some pictures. Number 6, he sends mixed signals. Today he's all in. Tomorrow he's not. Today he calls. Tomorrow he doesn't. He's love bombing you today, and then you don't hear from him for a week. And last but not least, number 7, he minimum wages you. That's my term, y'all. He only gives you enough to keep you on the hook, to keep you involved, to keep you emotionally connected. Whenever that happens, he's probably emotionally unavailable.
Red flag. He's emotionally unavailable. He is not opening up to you. You really don't know that much about him. It's like pulling teeth trying to get this man to talk about himself, and he just keeps it superficial and surface level. He lacks a little empathy when you open up to him, and he's not there to support you emotionally. Either he's hiding something big, like a whole girlfriend, wife, or a family, so he's got to keep you at arm's length, otherwise you're going to find out. Or the more likely story is that he's got some inner work to do, like he's dealing with wounds of distrust, or he has an avoidant attachment style, so he gets really uncomfortable when you try to get too close. Or he's just not looking for anything that serious, so there's no need to open up if he just wants to keep it casual. No matter the reason, it's a red flag because there will be obstacles to overcome in terms of getting close to him, and you need to decide whether you're up to that task. But I would suggest not going down that road if you can't even have a conversation about it without feeling attacked or like you're criticizing him for being closed off. If he's not self-aware, girl, or if he always pulls away, or if he's dismissive of how his lack of emotional availability is affecting you, then I would leave him where he's at. Hopefully, he'll find the healing he needs, but you do not need to be the one to drag him through it if he's not willing to do the work himself. Red flag if he is emotionally unavailable.
When a man seems emotionally unavailable, he lacks commitment, leaves you feeling confused. I want you to be honest with yourself, okay? And think about this. Imagine if his favorite celebrity, okay, whatever actress he likes, a musician, would call him today and tell him, hey, I want to be with you. I think you're the perfect man. What do you think his response would be? Do you think he would be emotionally unavailable for her? Do you think he would give her mixed signals, be indecisive? Nah.
Someone who is emotionally unavailable can often make someone who is emotionally available feel like their basic needs are too much.
The most dangerous man out there is an emotionally unavailable man. And when I say emotionally unavailable, I'm talking about a married man, a man who's already committed somewhere else, a man who's single but keeps on confusing you, doesn't want to commit to you emotionally but is so happy to commit to you physically. This type of man will never fulfill you emotionally and give you what you want. All they do is dangle what you want in front of your eyes. And I know you guys will say, oh no, if he's emotionally unavailable, why is he already married? Why is he already committed somewhere else? Him being emotionally unavailable means he's emotionally unavailable to you. I say this man is the most dangerous man to date because these guys are very intentional when they approach you. And this is why most women say dating a married man or a man who's committed somewhere else is so much better than dating a single guy. They say that the married men or the emotionally unavailable men treat them better than the single guys. It's because these guys are trained by their wives. And like I said, they are very intentional when they come to you. They know all the things that women love because they have wives and they have long-term girlfriends. So they know what they need to do to get you to comply, to agree, and to do whatever they want you to do with them. They know exactly what to say and what to do. They know that women love money, so he will give you money, and they also know that women love attention. So he will give you attention and give you money. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's okay for you to date a single man who's not giving you attention and a man who's not showing any effort. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to show you that these guys who are emotionally unavailable know exactly what they're doing when they approach you. They are very intentional. It's hard leaving this type of man because they never initiate breakups. What they will do is ghost you in between, and then they will come back to you, and then you will take them back because you know when it's good, and you've seen the potential, and this guy treats you well when it's good. If he's single and he's emotionally unavailable, you struggle to leave because you are addicted to the highs and lows that he's been giving you. And also you stay hoping that, okay, this guy's going to change and you guys can be great because, again, you've seen the potential. When it's good, it's good. What happens is that you stay in the relationship hoping to get whatever it is that they're dangling in front of your eyes that you want. You end up spending years in this relationship because it's so hard to leave. These guys don't initiate a breakup because they have nothing to lose. If you know that you're a lover girl, you're looking for love and all of that, stay away from emotionally unavailable men because they will break you and they will ruin your life. What happens is that you end up spending years with this man in a vicious cycle that's never ending, and worst case scenario, you end up falling pregnant. Another worst case scenario is that you spend years in therapy trying to get over this man and everything that happened. Emotionally unavailable men are not worth it. They really are not worth it. If you are just using them, great. But if you know that you're a lover girl and you want love and all of those nice things, please stay away from emotionally unavailable men. They are not worth it.
You chase emotionally unavailable men because you think they must know something more about you than you know about yourself. The hot and cold behavior is intriguing to you if you're unaware of who you are. You want validation from someone like them because it would mean the most to you if they change their ways just for you. That would mean you're lovable and worthy. So because they're inconsistent in and then out, it makes you question who you are even more. And now you feel like only they hold the answers to if you're truly who you want to believe you are. If they don't see it, you internalize it and chase it until they can fix what you feel. It's simple to say, stop chasing emotionally unavailable men, but I think it's deeper than that. I'd say chase after you instead. Figure you out. Learn to love you, and if that feels too hard to do, start with self-acceptance. Start with self-discovery. Usually it is our parents that are the first emotionally unavailable people we chased and ate of their breadcrumbs. Even if your parents were decent and not abusive, did they make space for all of you, including your emotions? Did they only show love if you behaved? Did they talk about emotions and feelings with you? Or was it only about what you needed to be doing around the house or doing academically? You may not know who you are internally outside of what others think or what you can do for others.
You provide for her, and that's it. He's done his job. He's good. So essentially, he gets these women because he's a provider, but he provides nothing emotionally. to them. So many of these women, and I'm not excusing them, getting with him, but they probably get with him because this is too good to pass up. This guy is a provider. He seems like a good man. But then as they get into it, they find out he gives them nothing emotionally. They feel void. That opens the door. And it just, again, whole nother discussion. But the point is, had they asked that man the question from day one, what do you see the role of the man and the woman is? They would have found that out from the beginning. All right? They didn't have to wait till they got that deep to see this man did not understand what a woman needs emotionally from her partner.
When I attracted avoidant men, that meant I was doing too much. I was going to them. They sense my doing energy and they're like, yeah, I want that girl because I'm kind of lazy and I don't want to do anything. I was so anxious. I wanted a guy and I couldn't just stop and relax and let a person come to me. I have complete awareness of this part of me. We have this framework in Bloom called the self-organization model. It's looking at yourself as like an organization, and your C-suite, your chief operating officer, that's your awareness. And then your higher self or your spirit's above that. And you use your awareness to always notice when your parts are coming up, trying to drive the car. I notice now that when that little young girl part that's very anxious and wants to be chosen and wants to be loved, I have to notice when she shows up so I can stop, calm myself, and kind of just like reassure myself. You don't have to text him. You don't have to call him. Wait till he calls you. You don't have to like keep on checking in. You don't have to ask him on a date. If he's not asking you on a date, he doesn't want to see you. Guys don't play hard to get. I promise you, if a man isn't interested, it's because he's not interested. I've had to learn the hard way. So I had to see that it was my always going to them that made them never have to come to me. And that would make me feel like crap. I never felt chosen. Guys never do anything that they don't have to. It's human nature. Nobody does. If we don't have to, we ain't gonna do it, ever. It's really about asking yourself where you're portraying that same quality, because we always attract the same.
Go after the emotionally unavailable guy. Now hear me out. They have something that secure men will never have. Uncertainty. And that uncertainty is why their mysteriousness will always be on a magnetic level. You know how guys can sense a desperate girl from like a mile away? A woman can spot the nonchalant guy. A girl will try to become something he could care about. I remember seeing this guy at a bar. He had this low, gloomy, unbothered energy that every woman knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Whenever he looked at anyone, it was like he couldn't care less how the convo started or ended. He was telling me he had a motorcycle. And I say, oh, that's nice. What's its name? And he goes, its name? And I'm like, yeah, surely your bike has a name. And versus him just saying, I don't have a name for my bike just quite yet, he says, I don't really name things. That seems kind of childish. Oh, you gotta go after unavailability to experience what that looks like and avoid it. It's a rite of passage for girls in their 20s. Or if they find you, you're 19. And being nonchalant doesn't just translate into relationships. It's also how you view life. You don't have the emotional capacity to even consider naming something you value in your life, or even ponder the possibility, not even try to humor me, like a little bit. And to women that don't know what nonchalant looks like, it's just not purposeful. If he wouldn't even give his bike a title, why would I ever think he would give me one? Think about it. That's what I'm gonna say, because it's not about the bike.
A man who has not learned how to properly manage his emotions is going to be a very unstable man, and someone who is going to struggle with how to properly handle situations in a relationship, as well as how to be a good leader when necessary in the relationship. It's not that I want to make emotions this completely bad thing, right? But as a man, he's got to be able to take a step back and process and think things through. People who are too emotionally reactive end up doing things that they regret, end up making bad decisions. I hate to say it, but they can end up becoming very abusive, whether that be verbally abusive, and sometimes it can cross the line of being physically abusive, because it all stems from they have not learned how to properly manage their emotions.
Most emotionally unavailable men don't even know they're emotionally unavailable. Now here's the truth. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. Now imagine a boy who learned early that showing emotions leads to punishment, ridicule, or rejection. So he shuts down. At first, it's self-protection. Then it becomes his identity. Now he's a grown man, avoiding intimacy, shutting down in conflict, and feeling disconnected from his own heart. This is emotional unavailability. It's a wound passed down from fathers, society, and generations of suppressed emotions. Now the good news is it can be healed, but only if you're willing to do the inner work.
Why do I always fall for the same type of person? What is your type? Emotionally unavailable? I wonder if you had a parent who was emotionally distant or wasn't able to meet your needs of feeling safe and loved. Yes. Why? On a subconscious level, we're attracted to what feels familiar to us because the brain has seen this type of person and relationship before. It almost feels comforting to repeat that pattern, even if consciously we know it's not good for us. Part of this attraction is also feeling like maybe this time they'll love me, maybe this time I'll win and it will be different. And this almost feels like a subconscious way of trying to gain control over our past wounds and relationships. So how do I break the pattern? Because these relationships are often really intense, it's normal for our bodies to actually crave that intensity once it's gone. We can start to break the pattern by first becoming aware of the pattern and how it repeats itself in our everyday lives. We can consciously decide, do I want to repeat this pattern or do I want to let the craving pass? Every time we practice this, we're actually creating a new sense of what's familiar and safe to our bodies.